Welcome to what is going to be a legendary ranking video, one of utmost precedence, if you will, where I am going to go in and rank every cookable food item in Stardew Valley. But I am going to base my ratings upon this very intense criteria of, number one, the name of the food, and number two, the ingredients or lack thereof that are required to make said food item. So, we're not basing these on stats or anything else. We are basing these on how they would taste in real life, and I am expecting some great items, and I am expecting some not so great items. Now, as a southern boy, I'm sure my taste is refined enough to be able to tell quality culinary cuisines from the kitchen disasters. Now, let's go right in and see what Stardew food items rank where and why. So here we are at the tier list. So as a 3-star chef, I should be able to discern edible from non-edible to culinary delights. So let's go ahead and get started with the legend algae soup, which consists of, you guessed it, green algae. So is it edible? It's questionable. I'm gonna put it there. I don't feel like anyone out there is gonna really go, oh man, but algae's my favorite thing. It's one of the best items. I love eating it every Saturday. My mom used to make it all the time. It's the greatest. I don't feel like that's gonna be the case. If there is, leave a comment down below, and I will apologize to you for having such a bad mom for a cook. All right, moving on. We have artichoke dip, and artichoke dip ain't too bad. It's more of a party appetizer kind of deal going on. The only problem is in Stardew, it consists of an artichoke and milk. And I don't really think, you can't really make anything with just an artichoke and milk. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to lower it from what it would be if it was like actual artichoke dip. We're going to put that in the B tier. So next up we have Autumn's Bounty, which again, it's one of those things that it sounds okay until you go down into the ingredients and you look at the ingredients, and what we have is a yam and a pumpkin, and that just I don't really know what you can really cook with just a yam and pumpkin. We're gonna go ahead and put that a little lower than the artichoke dip. We're gonna put that in the C tier. Sorry for the Autumn's Bounty lovers out there. So next up we have the baked fish, which is a baked fish on a bed of herbs consisting of a sunfish bream and wheat flour. Don't know where the herbs are. It must be pulled out of my front lawn. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that into the A tier because it's actually edible, and I feel like I would actually enjoy just a straight up baked fish, even though I don't know where the herbs come from. And next we have banana pudding, which as a southern boy, I tell you, I would thoroughly enjoy. Okay, it consists of a banana, milk, and sugar. Where are the vanilla wafers? I don't know. At least it contains actual slices of banana, which is good enough, in my opinion, to throw this bad boy all the way to the S tier. So moving on to the bean hot pot, which consists of a total of one ingredient, green beans, which, green beans are always good, but straight up just throwing green beans in a pot and heating them up, I'm gonna have to put that pretty low. I'm gonna have to put that in the D tier. I don't feel like many people would enjoy that one. Again, we have a fantastic dessert coming up, a blackberry cobbler. It consists of blackberry, sugar, and wheat. Now, the only issue is it doesn't have an egg, which I feel like is needed for the dough of the pie crust. So it doesn't make it quite as far as the banana pudding. We're gonna go ahead and throw that in the A tier. Now we have a blueberry tart, which consists of a blueberry, wheat flour, sugar, and what we lacked on the blackberry pie, an egg. So that bad boy deserves to go all the way to the S tier. The desserts are making a run for their money, going so high up compared to the rest of the items. Moving on, we have the bread, which is just a simple baguette. The only problem is we have purely wheat flour. I feel like you need a little bit of oil for that, or else it's going to be a pretty bad piece of bread. And I like my bread. I need it. Need in my life. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this bad boy in the B tier. Here we have an Italian classic of the bruschetta, which is basically just, it says it's roasted tomatoes on a crisp white bread. Sounds a little bit better than the bread by itself. So we're going to go ahead and throw it above the bread and put that bad boy right in the A tier. Coming up, we have one of the most unique items, I feel like, in Stardew Valley. And we have the Carp Surprise, which consists of a total of 4 carp. And, you know, in reality, carp is a invasive species. A lot of people don't really care for the taste of it or anything. It is edible, barely. And if there's just a bunch of carp on my plate, and I'm just sitting there eating nothing but carp, I'm not gonna have a good time. So we're gonna go ahead and put that, it is edible, we're gonna put that in the E tier. Sorry, bud. Try a little harder next time, I guess. Now we have a classic of cheese cauliflower, which consists of cheese and cauliflower. That seems like a good experience to me. It depends on the cheese, but we're gonna go ahead and throw that bad boy in the A tier. So now we have a deceptive food item, something that's lacking, I feel like. We have the chocolate cake, which is rich and moist with a thick fudge icing. But if we go ahead and look at the items of wheat flour, sugar, and eggs, where's the chocolate? Where's the fudge? So we're gonna put that bad boy in the D tier. Moving on, we have the legend himself, Mr. Chowder, that consists of a clam and milk. And that's it. Again, we have the same issue as we have with the artichoke dip, where it consists of an item put in milk and they call it something. You know, that just doesn't seem like a good time to me. We're gonna put that bad boy in the D tier. Now we have coleslaw, which immediately, sorry, people. You bring the coleslaw to the barbecue, you're getting kicked out. Bring a better food item next time. Don't bring absolute garbage. If you bring the coleslaw, just prepare to leave within 30 minutes of arrival at a party or a get-together. You don't deserve to be there. Now we have the complete breakfast, consisting of a fried egg, milk, hash browns, and pancakes, which, let me tell you, that sounds like a hearty, whole breakfast I would enjoy pretty much any day of the week. It deserves to be up there with the legendary desserts. We're gonna put that in the S tier. Following up with complete breakfast, we have a cookie, which is wheat flour, sugar, and eggs. My problem is the actual cookie Sprite has little chocolate chip bits in it. Where are the chocolate chips in the ingredients list? Nowhere to be found. So it's gonna go kind of a mid. It's gonna be a mid. It's more of a sugar cookie than anything else. So up next we have crab cakes, which consists of crab, wheat flour, egg, and oil. And let me tell you, that's more or less what would be there in real life. Of course, lacking spices and stuff like that. But we're going to say the kitchen has spices, because none of these food items consist of salt, pepper, or, you know, paprika or garlic powder or anything. So we're going to go ahead and put that with the complete breakfast in the S tier. It deserves to be up there. I'd thoroughly enjoy that crab cake, I feel like. Next up, we have the cranberry candy, consisting of a cranberry, an apple, and sugar. I guess you can burn the food until it becomes a candy. I don't know, I'm not really well-versed in my candy making abilities. We are going to put that bad boy in the B tier, because, I mean, I'd try it. I don't know how well it'd turn out just with an apple, cranberries, and sugar, but I'd still give it a shot, I feel like. Now we have cranberry sauce, which you need to grow up your taste buds a little. We're gonna put that bad boy in the A tier. It's pretty good on a lot of items. It's good at Thanksgiving. If you bring the cranberry sauce, you're loved and appreciated. People around the table will sing of your praises for eons to come. Now we have the crispy bass, which says the breading is perfect, but it only has flour, oil, and, of course, a largemouth bass. I don't know if the breading would be perfect with purely flour. I would still try it out. I don't know how well it'd turn out. Bass is pretty okay. I'm going to put that bad boy in the C tier. Now we have the dish of the sea, which has 2 sardines and hash browns. I feel like I would purely eat the hash browns and push the sardines to the side after taking a bite and realizing how bad sardines are. The hash browns move it up from the E tier and put it in the D tier. Now we have the eggplant parmesan, which has eggplant and a tomato, and that's it. And that's one of those things that you go, that's all you put in it? That's it? I feel like there's not many things you can do for the eggplant parmesan with the lack of ingredients, so it's going to follow up and also go into the D tier. Here's, I would assume, is a French item, and with a French item, we automatically throw it into the F tier, the escargot or escargot or whatever. French people don't know how to eat. I'm sorry, French people watching this video. Maybe choose a better food item next time. Moving on, we have the farmer's lunch, which says it'll keep me going, consisting of an omelet and a parsnip. The parsnip, it's an interesting choice with an omelet. The omelet itself would probably be ranked a little bit higher. We'll see later in the video, but for now, we're gonna put the farmer's delight in the C tier because, again, I feel like I wouldn't really care for the parsnip. I'd eat the omelet. Now we have something that I feel like is quite interesting. We have the fiddlehead risotto, which it's one of those items that I'm not too sure how it'd be because I've never had a fiddlehead fern in my life. I don't even know if that's really considered an edible item. We're just gonna go ahead and put that in the C tier. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I don't really care because I feel like a lot of people are gonna argue with me on this one. Now we have the fish stew, consisting of a crayfish, a mussel, a periwinkle, and a tomato. That's a choice. I'm sorry, fish head stew people out there. I'm gonna put that in the E tier. Now we have something that's one of those items that I can see going either way. We have the fish taco, which has tuna fish, a tortilla, and red cabbage. And mayonnaise. And it seems edible. I'd try it. I don't know how well it'd turn out. I'm gonna put that in the B tier. I can see it going either way of like, man, that is like thoroughly enjoyable, or that was the biggest load of crap I've ever eaten in my life. Let's go to McDonald's. Now we have fried calamari, which it's one of those things that I think would be pretty enjoyable. I mean, it's just squid oil and flour. I don't know how well it'd be fried again without any breading. I haven't had calamari in years. I enjoyed it from what I remember. We're gonna go ahead and throw that in the A tier. Now we have another fried item, but this one, it doesn't have wheat flour the same way that fried calamari does. It's literally eel and oil. The more I think of it, the more I'm grossed out by it. So we're gonna throw that in the D tier. I don't think it deserves to be too much higher, just because it consists of an eel and oil. Now we have a plain and simple item, a fried egg consisting of an egg. We're going to consider that there's spices. You can throw any spices you want in there because, again, none of the other food items list like actual spices. So, I mean, it's going to be an egg. It's a fried egg. I'll give it a B. Now, moving on, we have the fried mushroom, which consists of a common mushroom morel. If I'm saying that right, I don't know. And oil. There's no breading. It's just fried. Okay-ish, I guess. Throw that in the C tier and we forget about it. And if you leave a comment about that, I'm going to cry. So, moving on. We have a fruit salad. Yummy, yummy. Oh, man. Do I love a good fruit salad. And this fruit salad sounds just lacking. It consists of a blueberry, melon, and apricot. Or apricot, if you will. If you said, like, I made a fruit salad and you brought me that consisting of those three items, I don't even know. I just would shut down like I'm shutting down talking about it. I'm just going to put that in the D tier. Now we have ginger ale, consisting of ginger and sugar. Not much to be said about this one. It's ginger ale. It's okay. Between the B and the C tier, because I don't feel like it's carbonated, we'll go ahead and throw in the B tier. We'll put it up there. Now we have glazed yams, consisting of a yam and sugar. This is, I feel like, a very opinionated one because it's like, do you like yams? Do you not like yams? It's basically what decides it. Yams are okay to me. I'll put it in the C tier. Moving on, we have hash browns, consisting of a potato and oil, which you get C tier. Now we have ice cream, where it's hard to find someone who doesn't like this, unless your name is that other guy SF, because it only has Milk and sugar. That sounds like a sloshy mess. You go into the D tier. Be gone with you, ice cream! Now we have the similar issue with the artichoke dip and such. We have the lobster bisque, consisting of lobster and milk. Man, that just... Holy moly, that would be something that I could barely get through. I feel like that is just a nightmare to begin with. That is going into the E tier. Up next, we have the Lucky Lunch, which is a special little meal. We have that cute little platter with a star on it. It's already raising some concerns, especially when we go into the ingredients of a sea cucumber, a tortilla, and a blue jazz. Now that's something. Literally, the tortilla sounds like the only edible part, in my opinion. We're gonna throw that in the F tier. Sorry, tortilla, you got mixed in with that kind of crap. Now we have the maki roll, which consists of any fish, seaweed, and rice, which sounds like pretty much any sushi ever made. We're gonna throw that. Well, I mean, sushi's not bad. We'll throw that in the A tier. Now we have the mango sticky rice, where sweet mango and coconut transforms this rice into something very special, which is mango, coconut, and rice. It's one of those cuisines that I don't know of. I feel like I'd give it a shot. We'll just go ahead and throw that in the B tier. If you have any and you want to bring it by my place, I'll try it. I'll give you my opinion. Maybe this video will get removed and redone just for that. If any of you fans out there know of mango sticky rice that well, let me know in the comments. Moving on. We have the maple bar, which is basically a donut. It's just maple syrup, sugar, and wheat flour. It's a donut. I don't know if it's cooked properly in that form or fashion. I'm not a big donut expert. Sorry, guys that work at Krispy Kreme. But we're going to go ahead and throw that in the C tier. Up next, we have the moss soup, which it's just 20 moss. I like to sort my moss by color and taste. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the S tier, because that is a grand, fantastic item. I will receive 0 backlash for that, I am sure. We all agree with that. Up next, we have the Miner's Treat, which consists of 2 cave carrots, sugar, and milk. And boy howdy, does that sound like an absolute abomination. I can barely eat it. I think I can scarf it down if I held my nose and prayed a little. It's going to go into the E tier. Now we have the omelet, which has egg and milk. And boy howdy, you can make some fluffy eggs. I feel like you can fluff the eggs a little bit with the milk. You can make a pretty okay omelet. Again, we already have spices and stuff like that. There's nothing in it, but if it's just a plain old omelet and you told me that, that'd be pretty okay. We're gonna throw that in the A tier. Now we have the pale broth, which even the description, just where it's a delicate broth with a hint of sulfur, consisting of 2 white algae. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and put that down there and forget about it. Erase it from your memories. Do whatever you need to do. Now we have pancakes, consisting of wheat flour and an egg. It's a double stack of fluffy, soft pancakes. You know, it doesn't have any syrup or any butter or anything like that. Maybe syrup's considered a spice. I'm not really sure. Something that's considered in the kitchen. If that's the case, it seems pretty okay to me. We'll put that in the B tier. Now we have the parsnip soup. It's fresh and hearty with the parsnip, milk, and vinegar. And let me tell you, that sounds god-awful. I feel like I'd throw up after eating that or even taking a whiff of that. It's going to go in the F tier. I don't think that is edible. And if it is, you're going to make sure it comes back up 20 minutes down the road. Now we have the pig cake with melon, wheat flour, sugar, and egg. I mean, there's not much to be said about it. I feel like it'd be a pretty okay meal. Just melon-flavored cake. It's going to go in the A tier. Here's another controversial one. I feel like with pizza, it's just a plain old cheese pizza. If you look at that Sprite, that is not cheese pizza. It consists of wheat flour, tomato, and cheese. I feel like that's going to be a very, very, very lacking pizza. So we're going to put that in the B tier. I mean, it's still consumable, don't get me wrong. It's not going to bother you too much, but it's just going to be pretty bland. Now we have the pepper poppers, hot pepper and cheese. Seems pretty simple. Feel like it's one it's going to be lacking a little, not as badly as the pizza, so we're just going to go ahead and throw that in the C tier. Coming up, we have plum pudding, a traditional holiday treat where it has 2 plums, wheat flour, and sugar. Is it as well as the banana pudding? No. We'll put that in the B tier. I mean, it's manageable. Now we have poi, and it's one of those delicacies I've never tried of. I've never tried what it consists of. Taro root. We're just gonna go ahead and throw that in the C tier because maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know. All right, cry about it. Now we have the poppy seed muffin, which has poppy, wheat flour, and sugar. I feel like there's some baking needs that are lacking, such as egg and stuff like that, to make an actual, batter. So it's not really a muffin when it comes out. We're gonna go ahead and throw that in the B tier. It's not gonna be a good time. Now we have the pumpkin soup, and it's again same issue. We just keep seeing down the road where it's just milk and the item, and it's just a bad time overall. Like, what are you gonna do with milk and pumpkin and make it a soup? That's gonna go ahead. Let's just put that in the E tier. It's barely edible, but it's gonna be a bad experience. Now on the upside, we have the pumpkin pie, which has pumpkin, wheat flour, milk, and sugar. I mean, it sounds pretty good. It's lacking the egg again that's needed for the crust. It doesn't make it all the way, but it makes it pretty close into the A tier. And now we come to radish salad with oil, vinegar, and radish. If you had a radish before, I'm sorry. They are not edible. They are straight up not edible. I don't care what form or fashion you make them into. They are just a bad time. If you want the dirt tasting experience, you like radishes, dang, I'm sorry, this is not the video for you. I'm gonna put that bad boy in the F, failure to be edible. Now we have the red plate, which has a red cabbage and a radish. Guess what? You also make it to the F tier. Sorry, red plate. Try again next year. Now we have the rhubarb pie. Rhubarb, wheat flour, sugar. It's the same issue that a lot of these quote-unquote pies have. We're going to go ahead and put that in the A tier. Actually, we're going to move it down one. I don't feel like it's going to be as tasty as the pumpkin pie. It's still lacking a little. It's lacking a little more than the pumpkin pie. So we're going to put that bad boy in the B tier. Now we have roasted hazelnuts, which it's one of those things that you put spices on, you throw it in the oven, you roast them, you bring it out, you enjoy them. It's consists of 3 hazelnuts. I'm sure people put all sorts of spices on it. We're gonna put that in the A tier. I mean, it's roasted hazelnuts. It's plain and simple. I'd eat them. Now we have rice pudding, milk, sugar, and rice. That is a pretty good time. Does it make it to the A tier? Not quite. We'll put that in the B tier. It doesn't sound, I mean, it feels like the only sweetness you get is the sugar. So that's what makes it kind of lackluster compared to the roasted hazelnuts. Here's another interesting choice for all you foragers out there. We have the root splatter. Cave carrot and winter root. Yum. Sorry, foragers. For those nomadic tribes out there that like to roam the earth and watch these YouTube videos, I'm sure this is not the video for you. Now we have, again, this is one of those things that you can fight people over. You will physically just want to punch the person for making this. It's a quote-unquote salad, okay? It says it's a healthy garden salad, okay? Consists of a leek, a dandelion, and vinegar. Now, I don't know what combination that is, a leek, a dandelion, and vinegar, to make a quote-unquote salad. But that sounds like the worst thing I've ever heard of. And personally, I just want to, again, beat the crap out of someone who, would hand-deliver this to me. I would throw the plate against the wall just furiously, that's going F tier. Especially the dandelion. Let me tell y'all, dandelions are weeds, okay? They're not meant to be planted. They're not meant to be consumed. They are meant to be dug up and thrown away and forgotten about. I wish that they would just go away forever. Now we have the salmon dinner, consisting of a salmon, an amaranth, and kale. I mean, it seems enjoyable. I feel like you can make some pretty okay with that. We'll put that in the B tier. Now we have sashimi, consisting of whatever fish you want. Now, if you made sardines sashimi, that's an E tier. But if you get some high quality salmon or something along those lines, I would put that in the A tier. So it kind of depends on the fish. We'll just kind of equalize it. We'll put it in the C tier. We come to the apex, or should I say the valley, of seafoam pudding. I'm sorry for the seafoam pudding fans of this community. Now we have spaghetti, an old-fashioned favorite, consisting of wheat flour and tomato. That is the most lackluster spaghetti I've ever heard of. Again, there's a lot wrong with it. I feel like you couldn't even make the noodles right. Let's go to here. We have the shrimp cocktail, consisting of tomato, shrimp, and horseradish. The horseradish gives it that kick. I feel like that would be a pretty okay idea to me. It's still lacking, but not as badly as a lot of other food items on this list. Maybe it'd be served at Outback. I'm not too sure. We're to put that in the B tier. Now we have the Squid Ink ravioli, and it's one of those, again, it's one of those cuisines. It's literally the same thing as the quote-unquote spaghetti in terms of the items, except it has squid ink involved. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that there. I don't know what squid ink tastes like or how you cook it, but I don't feel like it would be a very enjoyable time. Now we have the spicy eel, which is a little better than the fried eel. It has a hot pepper and eel, so it's got a kick to it, but what else does it have running for it? I'm not too sure. We'll put that in the C tier. Stir fry, where we have a cave carrot, common mushroom, kale, and oil. That is the worst sounding stir fry I've ever heard in my life. So where are we going to put that? I mean, we'll put that in the E tier. I don't feel like it. It's between E and D. Now we have stuffing consisting of bread, cranberries, and hazelnut, which that doesn't sound too bad. You know, if you told me that stuffing and you made it properly, you know, you mixed it up well enough and you cooked it in a turkey, or you can cook it by itself. A lot of people do that. I think I would enjoy it. So we're going to put that in the A tier, and we're going to call that, I feel like it'd be enjoyable. Now we have a quote-unquote super meal consisting of bok choy, cranberries, and artichoke. Far from super. It seems okay. Barely okay. We'll put that in the D tier. Now we have the strange bun. What's inside? Wheat flour, periwinkle, and void mayonnaise is inside it, apparently. If you told me to literally called it a strange bun and handed me said strange bun and said try it, and I took a bite, it's fightable. I feel like you would fight someone over this. It doesn't seem edible. It's going in the F tier. Now we have another classic of the survival burger, which already sounds horrible. It sounds like the Krusty Krab's nasty patty. It consists of a bread, a cave carrot, and an eggplant. Is it edible? Barely. And I put that with a big question mark on it. We're gonna give it the, we're gonna go ahead and give that the E tier. I question it. We'll try and get through it. Now we have another delicacy that I've never had in my life nor heard of till I played Stardew of Tom Kha soup consisting of a coconut, a shrimp, and a common mushroom. That doesn't sound too bad, but I wouldn't know. We're gonna go ahead and throw that in the B tier and go to the next one. Coming up, we have the tropical curry of coconut, pineapple, and hot pepper. It's, again, I'm just going to put it in the same place. I don't know too much about it. I feel like I'd try it. I don't know if I'd enjoy it, but I might. You never know. Coming up, we have the tortilla, which consists of corn.
It's corn.
So it is a simple, plain corn tortilla. Put that in the C tier. It's a lacking tortilla, I should say. I don't feel like it has all the ingredients there. I feel like you got to add a little bit extra to that. Coming up next, we have the Addictor, the coffee. Well, actually, it is the triple shot espresso, consisting of 3 coffees. So we'll put that in the C tier. Am I a coffee drinker myself? Absolutely not. I mean, it just sounds like a bunch of coffee compressed into one little shot, which sounds absolutely terrible for you, but I won't say anything more beyond that. Now we have the trout soup, consisting of a rainbow trout and green algae. Boy, that feels like it'd be hard to make a soup out of just trout and algae. I mean, again, you would have water, so you could make it a soup, but man, that is a hard soup to make with those 2 ingredients. It's going to be a hard time digesting that. And as we reach the end, we find ourselves to a quote-unquote vegetable medley where we have tomato and beet. Will be nice. I could see this going in the E tier because of the lack of ingredients. We'll put this in the D tier. We'll just put it there, and we will finish up this legendary Stardew food item tier list. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it in the comments section below. I think this is a pretty thorough job of what they would actually taste like in real life, or how they sound like they would taste in real life. Am I perfect? No. I'm 99.99999% perfect, but we're not 100%. Now, as the final conclusion of this video draws near, make sure you do the following of liking, commenting, and subscribing. And let me tell y'all, there will be another fantastic tier list I have thought of thoroughly, and I shall post a video of it soon. And until then, I will see you somewhere, someplace, somehow.